Following on daily from Candy, Harmy, the T20 series has been sealed. England a 2-0 unassailable lead heading in tomorrow. So we'll look ahead to tomorrow. Josh Tongue hasn't played, Luke Wood hasn't played in this series so far. Is this a good time for England to experiment, maybe bring in a Luke Wood instead of a Jamie Overton, for example?
I think I'd bring Luke Wood in. I'd be surprised if Archer plays, but Archer hasn't played cricket since obviously the December, so they might want to keep him going. The continuity of a winning side, I think, is the most important thing. I think England need to try and win this series 3-0, take a huge amount of confidence going into the World Cup. I'd like them to have a look at Luke Wood, just for the simple fact it's giving them another angle of an option when it comes to the power play. I still think the difference between us being a contender is the ability to bowl them 6 overs of power play. Jofra Archer, yes, he had an over where he got hit for a few, but in a couple of games now, Sam Curran's been quite expensive, and I don't think bowling that first over has really done Sam Curran any favours. So we possibly could do having a look at seeing what other options we've got in the squad if we want to look at a slightly tweak of a game plan, which would possibly be, do we need Liam Dawson coming in at number 9 and Jofra Archer coming in at number 10? Could we have a better bowling option at overs numbers, if it's 1 and 3 or if it's 2 and 5 in the power play? Then I think that might be worth having a look at. So that would mean an Overton possibly misses out, but I definitely would like to see Luke Wood have a game. Whether Jofra stays in the side because of the amount of cricket he hasn't played since the Ashes is finished, I think that will be the rhythm that Jofra. If he had blown Sri Lanka away game 1 and done it again game 2, I probably would have said, nah, just leave him out, give Josh Tongue a game and keep him for the World Cup. But because he had an indifferent start, possibly throw him back out again might not be a bad thing for England.
Is this Jacob Bethell's sort of not last chance saloon in this format? But you mentioned his record after the game yesterday. But with Ben injured, you can't really change that top 7. It's sort of a secure top 7 for this series until Ben Duckett's fit. But with a finger injury, Danny Rubin, the media officer, said he's improving all the time. So he should be potentially fit for at least some of the games in the T20 World Cup. So is this sort of Bethell's last chance to stake a claim?
Yeah, I don't think it's last chance saloon, because I think it's up to the hierarchy. At this moment in time, it's irrelevant because Ben Duckett's not fit. I think what we seen in the build up to the second game was Ben Duckett doing a few catches. He had the bat out. He was hitting a few balls. So until Ben Duckett's fit, that's a question for the selection panel. The one thing it will be is if Tom Banton goes into this third game on a good surface, belts 50, 60, 70 and a winning cause, then England have a selection dilemma, because I think they were, in the grand scheme of things, thinking, right, Banton out, Duckett in when he's back, and that is our best side. Now, nicely, and it's a good problem to have, Tom Banton's muddied the waters by the way he's played. And he didn't just play cameos. Harry Brooks was a cameo. It was 34 off 12 balls. Tom Banton got his team in a position to win the game, then seen it through. And that is such a valuable thing to have if you've got a player who can do that. So in the first game, he learned from his mistakes. He got his 20, 29 or whatever it was, and then got out. This time he's seen the game through and trying difficult conditions with ball, with going off and on, and the game being reduced probably did help England. But I think even if England had to chase the 190, the way Tom Banton played, he would have gotten 70, 75 and won the game, because he looked in really, really good order. And I've always believed that you ride the wave of somebody who's going well, especially in the shortest format of the game, because it's such a confidence game that while you've got somebody playing well, don't have them on the sideline.
And you mentioned Tom Banton. Let's hear now from the England batter. 50 off just 29 balls in yesterday's 6-wicket win. After the game, I caught up with him. So Tom, very well played. Just sum up your thoughts after that game.
Look, obviously we got the series win. I think that's the most important thing. To contribute today is obviously a great feeling. Always trying to put the team first, and luckily it was my day today.
And how did you find batting on that wicket? You seem to enjoy it. A 29 ball 50 for you.
It was tricky. I think there's obviously a little bit of spin and a bit of hold. It's something we spoke about, and I think with my new role, not opening now, kind of got to give myself a few balls, and then when your matchup comes on, you got to try and take it down. And yeah, sometimes it comes off and sometimes it doesn't. But yeah, luckily today it came off.
And how much adaptation has it been, adapting from, as you say, opening to now your new role?
Yeah, it is different, but at the end of the day, it's still a guy running down with a ball in his hand, and you've got to, I guess, assess the wicket and take it on. But yeah, look, it's different. You've obviously got guys in the ring at the start, and normally when I come in now, they're all spread out. But yeah, look, it's really exciting. We've got a World Cup coming up. We go to India in a few days, and it's great to get a series win.
We had quite a long rain delay. How does the mindset change when your target's suddenly the run rate's a lot higher?
It was like a T10 game, I guess, and there's quite a lot of experience of that in our changing room, so there's a bit of joking about that. But no, look, you've got such a long batting lineup. We bat literally all the way to 11, so when your matchup comes on, you've got to take it, and yeah, it came off tonight.
And how confident are you of this England side heading into the World Cup? As you say, we saw the skills of the ball the other day, now today the power with the bat. Yeah,
it's really exciting. And yeah, it's great to be a part of. I've been out of it for the last few years, and to be back now with a great team, great bunch of lads, great support staff. Yeah, it's really exciting. And yeah, hopefully we'll be in the final come. I think it's the 8th of March.
What have you made of the last 12 months for yourself personally? I was in Ahmedabad when you came back into the ODI side. It's been a whirlwind 12 months here.
Yeah, it's weird. I feel like I get asked this all the time. Yeah, obviously there was a tough few years, which I think kind of made me who I am really today, which is, yeah, it was a tough few years, I'll be honest. But I've learned a lot about myself on and off the field. And yeah, I think red ball cricket's been really important for me. Just facing balls, I think really good for your technique as well. But yeah, it's been just, I guess, an exciting 12 months to be back wearing the England badge is a really special feeling. It's, yeah, something hopefully I can do for a long time.
And when did you find out you were playing, or were you always playing, or did the injury to Ben sort of change things?
Good question. I have no idea. Baz actually told me on the training session before the first game saying I was going to bat number 4.
So even if Ben was injured, it's about taking that opportunity that you do get presented with.
Yeah, I guess so. That's playing for England for you, isn't it? And yeah, hopefully I've done that. But look, whatever happens, I just want England to win, and yeah, hopefully we can bring home the World Cup.
And just a word on Jos, the most capped England player now of all time. You've played with him in your time in international cricket. Just a word on Jos, and I bet he's even more satisfied because of the win now.
Yeah, it's weird because obviously growing up he was someone I really looked up to, and yeah, we went to the same school, obviously the Somerset link, and yeah, using the same kit, I guess. But yeah, look, it's a really proud moment, I guess, for him, and I think everyone in the changing room is really happy for him.
So that's Tom Banton, Harmy, talking about a difficult time. He's back in the England setup after the last 12 months. But going back to Bethell in general, how big a difference is batting 3 to batting 4? Just Tom Banton's changed roles. He's used to opening in T20 and franchise cricket. He's moved now to this new role at number 4, which you talked about with me there. So if Bethell is struggling, can you just swap them round? Put Banton 3, who's used to opening, because let's be honest, if you lose a wicket in the first over, number 3's in anyway, and then put Bethell at 4, where he batted in the ODIs, just to be a bit more natural, sort of a position he's familiar with.
Yeah, I get that, but I also look at that position of number 3. England want Jacob Bethell or Ben Duckett because he's left-handed, and then it splits up and it changes. We've seen a couple of times in this series, whether it was for Sri Lanka or for England, you know, the rotation of strike and the ability to change the angle of left and right hand, I think is very, very valuable for a team. So I think the number 3, England see it as a left-handed option. I would like to. I think Harry Brook should show responsibility and go to number 4, because I think he's our best player, and our best player in T20 cricket should bat in the top 4. You know, we talked about Jos Buttler being, you know, the greatest player we've ever had in white ball format. That partnership at the top is, you know, it's unthinkable trying to break that up. So they stay where they are. A left-hander at number 3. And I'd like to have seen Harry Brook at 4, but Banton's done well. So see how that goes in this game. But you know, he's good at coming in them situations and done well. But you know, I think that Jacob Bethell, Ben Duckett argument, I think it's more the left-hand option rather than the actual individual from a personnel point of view.
You mentioned Jos Buttler there, 39 off 29 balls, gets into a little bit of form heading into the T20 World Cup. Afterwards, I spoke to England's all-time leading appearance maker. So Jos, congratulations, England's all-time leading appearance maker, but I guess for you it's even more satisfying that you mark it with a victory.
Yeah, absolutely, and a series win. Really good performance from the boys. We've played some really good cricket over the last few weeks and carried that into these T20s ahead of the World Cup. So yeah, 2 really good performances and absolutely nice memorable game, and especially with a win.
Do you get time to reflect on these sort of moments? But with such a busy schedule, I guess it's hard to find the time to look back.
Yeah, it is, I think, but no, I definitely will do tonight, try and sort of take it in. It's quite surreal, really, to have played that many games, and obviously most of them in the white ball formats, which you can play a lot more games in those. But I think a lot of your career you're just trying to work hard, get better, what's next. But having now played for a while, I know that these moments you should really take it in and just pause and reflect and feel really grateful to have played this many games of cricket for England.
And just looking back on the immediate, how does it feel to become England's all-time leading appearance maker?
Yeah, really surreal. I think as that kid who's picked up a bat first, to play one game for England would have been amazing. So to have played so many is fantastic. There's been so many people, along the way, and part of that journey and supporting me and helping me, and wife and kids at home who've sacrificed a lot. Especially my parents, who I know would have been incredibly proud. To think that I've played this many games for England.
What's been the proudest thing looking back on the 15 years? Is it the achievements, the trophies, or is it the longevity, staying at the top of the game for 15 years now?
I think all of it, to be honest. Obviously the trophies are very special. To have especially the World Cup wins, I think of incredibly fondly, and you never know what's ahead, so it's hard to say that's the most enjoyable time of my career right now, but that period of course from 2015 to 2019 was amazing. There's so many different moments, and a lot of the moments actually are not on the field at all, and shared the dressing room there with some great people, and we've had a lot of laughs along the way, so it's been good fun.
And you saw the Duckworth-Lewis target change after the rain break. I guess that's another example of how the game's changed when you started to now, that these totals are quite chaseable nowadays.
Yeah, I think just the sort of calm nature that we chase that with shows the ability obviously in the team, and the way that cricketers and batters view sort of a lot of runs off not that many balls now. So the six hitting ability in the team is amazing, and I think that sort of takes a lot of pressure off you as a batter to know that you can clear the ropes and hit sixes. And I thought the boys, Harry Brook's innings was incredible. Tom Banton, to see the team all the way through, to be not out at the end along with Sam Curran, it's a really good performance.
You saw the ability with the ball in the first T20 and that power with the bat. How excited are you about this generation of the T20 side?
Yeah, absolutely. I think players just keep getting better and better. I think that's what you see, and there's a lot of talent in that dressing room. There's some good experience around the group as well. So there's a really nice mixture, I think, and a lot of guys who are really hungry for success and want to play well and do better. It's a good recipe in that dressing room at the moment.
Can you pinpoint on why it started to clip? 9 wins in 10 now for the T20 side. It wasn't long ago you hit 300 in the T20. Can you, as I say, pinpoint what's changed?
I don't know if anything's changed really. I think there's, like I said, it's an unbelievable talent to win some games of cricket. You get that know-how of how to win. You believe you're going to win, even from tough situations. Tonight could have been a really tricky chase, but we managed to play that really calmly, and I think winning breeds that confidence, and I think we got a nice on a nice roll from there. But also it's a nice mindset. We're just taking one game at a time and playing the conditions, play what's in front of you, start on naught every day. But there's a good confidence throughout the group, and momentum in T20 can be quite key. So there's a nice mixture of all those things.
And a lot of the lads are touring Sri Lanka for the first time. How much can they learn from playing on these surfaces heading into the T20 World Cup next month? Yeah,
I think we've seen a good sort of array of surfaces, through lots of the boys here through the ODIs, which are sort of slower wickets down in Colombo, loads of nets. You get great facilities here as well, so you can really practice hard. The wicket here is a little bit different, and that's really the skill of the game, is assessing conditions quickly. But like I say, for a few guys who are probably on their first trips to see the different conditions, will stand us in good stead.
And you mentioned Harry's innings. There's been a lot of talk of Harry off the field for obvious reasons, what's happened. But talk to me about the pressures of England captain and just how much he would learn from this experience that's happened over the last couple of months.
Yeah, he'll learn a lot. He's still a very young man who's probably got the captaincy earlier than he was probably planning on it. But he's a very natural leader. He's incredibly calm, tactically reads the game brilliantly, leads with the bat. Like the way he plays is fantastic. And I think he's got an incredible mindset. He doesn't seem fazed by much, and obviously it will have been a really challenging period for him, and he'll have learnt a lot. But just being around him, he hasn't seemed to, he's taken on board, learnt the lessons, and focused on the cricket. Which, if he plays good cricket, that's what everyone wants to see from Harry Brook.
Just looking back on when you got the captaincy originally, were you aware of the extra pressures and the responsibilities that come with being England captain, from just being a player to being a captain?
I'd say a little bit, having been good friends with Morgs for a long time and vice captain to him for a while, but you never know exactly what it's like or how you're going to feel until you do it. But no, Brookie's got some good guys around him. I think he's got a great relationship with Brendan McCullum. They're a really tight-knit pair as head coach and captain, which Brookie can learn a lot from Baz, who is a brilliant leader for New Zealand. So, but yeah, and he'll just learn, and you're constantly learning as a player, your own game and different feelings, and captaincy is no different. You've got to experience it and learn, and he's doing a great job so far.
And going back to yourself to end 402 appearances, as I said, you've won the ODI World Cup, you won the T20 World Cup. What keeps Jos Buttler getting out of bed every morning and looking to improve?
Yeah, to try and get another taste of that success. Those are, having played for 14, 15 years, and they're only 2 days, of which is all worth it. So just to try and get that feeling once more time would be nice.
So that was Jos Buttler speaking to me after the game last night. He was very good on his career, and he spoke about Harry Brook as well and the pressure of England captain. And do you think after this tour, Harry sort of understood the magnitude of what it means to be England captain? Because it's all right to make decisions on the field, pick the team, but an England captain holds much more responsibility than just on the playing field surface.
Well, I hope so. And if he doesn't, then he won't be England captain for much longer. Some will argue that he might lose it, whatever happens, when we get back home. But while he's still got it, I think it's a valid question to ask Jos. It was a great answer by Jos. The captaincy isn't just as simple as tossing a coin, changing the bowlers and moving the field around. There's a responsibility of England captains, and you look at the captains of the past, and the great responsibility that they have held and how they've done it. I'm thinking the likes of Sir Andrew Strauss and Sir Alistair Cook, Michael Vaughan, Nasser Hussain, for the ones that I played with and played around, and the way they did it, and Joe Root as well, Owen Morgan in the white ball stuff. So it should be a coming of age of that individual. It was certainly for the names I've just mentioned, and hopefully if Harry continues beyond the winter, then it will be a period of reflection once the World Cup's gone, and understanding what that comes with the responsibility of leading the country, and like I've said many times, leading into that second apology, hopefully when you have a bad time, people question you, and you've made a mistake. It makes you a better person, a better cricketer, and ultimately a better captain, and that is something hopefully time will tell, and we'll see. So the thing about Buttler in this series so far, the deliveries he's faced, he's looked in great touch. He really has. We've seen a glimpse of it in the second ODI. I think he got 18 or 20 off not very many balls towards the end. Saw them home. We've seen he didn't bat in the third one. He played a nice little knock in the first one here. Yesterday he played really well at the top of the order, and got 39, got England off to a great start. So the deliveries that Jos has faced, he looks as though he's timing them nicely, and that can only bode well for England going forward, because Phil Salt in the first game timed them nicely. Didn't get any in the second innings, but that partnership, if England, for me, want to be successful in the World T20 and want to get to the semi-finals and potentially challenge India for it, I think England can only do that if they're 2 or 3 wickets down. I think their top 5 have got to be the ones that win the games for England against the big boys, and that, I think hopefully from Jos's point of view, what he's had out here stand him in good stead for it.
You mentioned his answer on captaincy, but one of the things that I've seen with Harry throughout this tour, it doesn't seem to be weighing heavy on him. He seems to still be enjoying himself, being a bit of a young man that he is, enjoying his time playing cricket for England. Whereas you look at the end of Jos's captaincy, I remember being in India last year when he said he's been practicing smiling in the mirror just to be happy to be England captain. But it looks as if Harry's fine with everything that's gone on off the field. It doesn't seem to be affecting him on the field.
Yeah, and possibly because he's out of the country, that's helped, and not being shadowed from and protected, shielded from the sort of British media. There's not that much media out here at this moment in time, so that is part of it. I think from a captaincy point of view, I think Harry's done well. I really do. I think his in-game management across the 5 games that we've witnessed so far, I think, have been very good.
Yeah.
His ability, the way he's managed the spin bowlers, the sort of constant changing during that 50-over competition when things not so much weren't going right, but he was trying to not be predictable. I think Harry's at his field positions and his angles, I think he's got pretty much spot on. And if he loses it, it'll only be because of off the field stuff. I think on the field, and his demeanour looks as though he's a captain that's quite enjoying being England captain, and I think he's doing a very, very good job at that. But let's wait to see what happens in the future.
Hopefully we'll hear from him this tour. The first 2 T20s we've not heard from Harry. We've heard from some of the players involved while the other stuff in the background has been brewing. So hopefully we'll hear from Harry Brook on tomorrow, after the game tomorrow. And don't forget the third T20 between Sri Lanka and England, live and exclusive on talkSPORT 2. Hey Harmy, are you looking forward to actually hopefully seeing a completed 20 overs per side? Because the last 2, we've been sat there twiddling our thumbs for an hour while the covers have been on.
Yeah, I mean, no cricketer will turn down rain. Nobody, even if you're in a winning position.
All
commentators, yeah, they turn down rain. It'd be nice if England can get, I think, from a process point of view, a full both bat and ball 20 overs in lead up to that World Cup. I think the most important thing is for England to keep this winning run.
Yeah.
Lost the first game on this tour, won the next 2, came to Kandy, won the next 2, and now go into a series where they potentially could whitewash a team who have not been beaten here in 8 series. That is a great achievement in Sri Lanka against a good spin attack. Leading into a World Cup, that gives them a huge amount of confidence going in what will be a difficult time for the England players when it comes to off-the-field scrutiny and on-the-field pressure, going from more of a relaxed Sri Lanka into the cauldron of obviously India.
And we'll be back for Following On Daily tomorrow. We'll talk about the game, we'll talk about the cricket. I know you've just recorded Following On, where more than half of that show was not about on-the-field matters, so it'd be good to actually talk about the cricket again. We'll be back, as I say, tomorrow on the talkSPORT Cricket YouTube channel and talkSPORT 2 on air at 1 p.m. ahead of the 1:30 start. But for now, this has been Following On Daily.